Hello, this is a compilation video. It's a repeat of a video me and my dog Molly did some years ago. Seaweed fertilizer without the smell. Collect the seaweed, that'll be the green of the mix. Collect the leaves, that'll be the brown of the mix. Drop the mix, chop the mix. Put the mix in a bucket and sit a potato on it. Turn out the bucket after a few months to harvest your potatoes. This is a start to finish video. See the 2-bucket potato reveal at the end of the video. Enjoy the video. I'm going to do some multitasking today. As you can see, I've got my dog Molly. I've got some plastic bags. We're going down to the local beach. We'll have a look on the shoreline, see if there's any seaweed there, and if there is, we'll bag it up and we'll bring it home for the garden. Hey, come in. Come on then. Come on, Mol. Let's go. Seaweed, this is what we're talking about. Pop this in the bag. Also make sure you tie your bag up. If you're taking bags in the car, there'll be flies and other bits and bobs in this. You don't want a car full of them, so always tie your bags off before you put them in the car. Okay, we're back home. Molly enjoyed her walk on the beach, didn't you, sweetheart? She enjoyed it. She had a good swim while she was down there. So Molly's happy and I'm happy because we managed to get 2 bags of this stuff. Excuse me, Molly. Excuse me. Thank you. 2 bags of seaweed. Look at that. Whoa! Okay. So what we're going to do with this? Well, because it'll be coated in salt, we're going to need to wash it off. But what I'm intending doing is just to lay it out next to the raised beds and let the rain do the washing off. Okay. Rather than put the hose pipe on it, I think we'll just lay it out. There is some rain forecast for tonight. What salt is on this will be salt that's just on the outer surfaces because it's come from the sea, and the rain should wash it off. So that's what we'll do before we use it, before we compost it. Okay, so I'll put it back in the bag, take it back down the garden. Just don't forget my gloves. This is the pile of seaweed that I've collected this year from the beach. Been down to our local seashore. This is what's washed up on the tide line. I'll just move this batter out of the way so you can see it better. Now it's worth telling you now, if you do collect seaweed, only take it from the shoreline, don't take it off the rocks. It's still growing if it's on the rocks, if it's attached, unless it's a small rock and it's been washed up on the end of the seaweed. I'll just bring some of this seaweed a bit closer to the camera for you, let you see it. That's the seaweed. I think you might be able to see it glistening in the sun. We've had a lot of rain over the last few days, and this is quite wet, but that's a good thing because seaweed usually has a light coating of salt on it when you bring it home. People want to wash it with hose pipes and things, but there's no need to. Just leave it out, let the rain take the strain, just let nature do it for you. So this is the pile of seaweed. As you can see, it hasn't been chopped yet, but I will chop it, but it'll need to be a bit drier. So we'll leave it out to get it wet first, wash any salt off it, and leave it a bit longer, get 2 or 3 dry days back to back. Fingers crossed it'll be a bit drier, and then we'll chop it. Now let me show you the leaves I've been collecting. I've got several bags of these. I've just got four in the garden at the minute. These are the leaves. As you can see, they haven't been chopped yet. They're just as I collected them. So we want those to dry a bit more, and then we'll chop the leaves. So we'll mix the leaves with the seaweed, chop the lot, and then we'll do a chop and drop on my raised beds as a top mulch. And that'll sit on the raised beds for a few months before we're ready to plant them. But it's also my intention to hold some of this mixture back, and I'm going to be growing potatoes in pots in a mixture of seaweed and leaves. No soil, no compost, no fertilizer, just seaweed and leaves. I did it last year on small scale. I think I only had 2 pots, but it's quite a good result. So it's inspired me to have another go next year at growing potatoes in just seaweed and leaves. So we'll give these a few more days, get them a bit drier, get the seaweed drier and the leaves drier, and then we'll chop it and we'll drop it. I really am pushing my luck today. It's looked as though it's going to rain for the last 3 hours. Molly and me have been out this morning, we've had a good walk. I've come back, I thought stuff it, I'm going to chop that seaweed. I chopped the leaves last night, I've done that in the garage. They were quite dry and they chopped fairly easily. Okay, now we'll do this seaweed. A couple of tips though. Seaweed always, and I mean always, has stones in it. Always. You always bring stones home. You don't want stones in that shredder, that garden shredder, and you don't want this stuff, which can be quite strong, to foul the shredder, to stall it, which it has done a few times. I've already done 4 or 5 bags of this. This should be the last one. So just chop it up a wee bit before you start. When you lift it, be careful, shake it, make sure there's no stones in. You don't want those going in your shredder. Wear some safety goggles, just in case. Pair of gloves, and don't do it near your windows, because if there is a stone in here and it does backfire, it might want to just fly straight out of this machine and break a window, and you won't be in the good books then, will you? Right, let's shred this seaweed. There's leaves. Only just gathered these yesterday. Okay, this is the seaweed. I've already given the seaweed the once over to make sure there's no stones in there. There is a video on my channel that warns you about the fact that there could be stones with the seaweed and actually attached to the seaweed, and it tells you what to do if that's the case. But this seaweed that I gathered is quite clean. I've checked it, as I say, there are no stones in it. And I've set the lawnmower blades high. Okay, you must set your blades high. Okay, so what we should have in the back of the lawnmower now is a mixture of chopped up seaweed and leaves. The seaweed being the green of the mix and the leaves being the brown of the mix. Let's see what we've got. Okay, so this is the chopped up leaves and seaweed. You can hardly tell the difference. It does such a good job. Look at that. That compost I put down, that surf and turf compost. It's only been down a month. I've been turning it regularly. Two things I would say. Firstly, there is definitely no smell, and secondly, it looks as though it's breaking down, but because it's only been on the top of this bed for a month and we're in the winter months, it's taken its time. But I don't think we'll be planting anything in this bed for at least another 2-3 months, maybe even 4 months. So you should see a difference by the time we're ready to plant this bed. As I've said, there is no smell. Smell that. Can you smell anything? I knew you couldn't. Okay. Well, we're going to take a break from filming. Hailstones are coming down now, thick and fast. I'm shooting this from the bedroom window. I've had to come indoors. So, we put 2 inches in the bottom of this 10-inch pot. All that's going in there is seaweed and leaves. We're going to attempt to grow potatoes in this pot without any soil. Looks like seaweed, doesn't it? Yep. So this seaweed hasn't broken down properly yet. It's had about 3 months sitting on top of a raised bed, or in a sack, as I've already said, in a bag. So we'll sit that guy in there. If I can get the sun on him, you might be able to see him better, I don't know. Okay, I'm not too sure, I'm on the wrong side of the camera, but there he is, sat in the bottom. And then we're simply going to fill this pot now. We're simply going to fill this pot with seaweed and leaves. I'll just start the second pot off just to make sure I've got enough of this compost. So we're going to put home guard in this one. Okay, and I've already made a record of what's where. So this is our home guard going in. Cover him up with seaweed and leaves. Okay, that's those 2 pots filled with seaweed and leaves, 1 set in each. We'll stand these on the patio now and we'll see what we get. I'm going to do a 2-pot shootout today. This is Charlotte. The Charlottes I've dropped earlier have always given a good return, a good quality potato. So I'll expect some quality off Charlotte. And this is Winston. As you can see, Winston's starting to get some yellow leaves on the bottom. So Winston's ready to go. Both these guys have been in 17 weeks. So who's your money on? Charlotte or Winston? Now then, Charlotte or Winston, Molly? Molly's not bothered as long as she gets a couple. So let's hope we can find some small ones for her. We'll do Charlotte first. Have you placed your bets? Have you picked the one you want? Well, we'll empty these out. We'll do a weigh-in once we've got them all out. Okay. Okay, here we go. Shallot first. How's your early potatoes going? They're doing okay. I'm quite pleased with these. Quite pleased. Check that. Yeah, Charlotte. Yeah, it's been in there about 17 weeks. Okay. There we go, Molly, ready for this? Okay, we've got one, yep. So we've made a start. I'll pop these up, you'll see them better as this reveal goes on. Seed potato. And there's the mother load. Okay. Let's pop these in here. Just pop this up here. If I can, wait a minute. They're just very small ones, but they've got to come out because I will reuse this compost. I will reuse this seaweed and leaves, so we can't leave any small ones in because they'll just kick into life. Okay, that's Charlotte. Right, let's get Winston into the picture. Ooh. There he goes. I'll just move Charlotte out the way for the time being. We'll see what Winston's got. Okay. Molly's trying to work out where these potatoes are going in. Hey, come out of there! Hold on, I'll sort you out in a minute. Whoa, there we go. Oh, good old Winston. Just put that there. Right, let's have a look at these guys. And they all look sound potatoes. It doesn't look as though I'll be throwing any out of this lot. That's Winston. I don't know if you'll get this right behind Winston. Maybe. That's Charlotte. Winston, Charlotte. Okay. Right, we'll go and get the scales. Okay. So Charlotte's up first. Just under a pound. Oh, will you give me a pound for that? Go on, give me a pound. Alright, it's a pound. Thank you. Right. We'll go with Winston now. We'll put this big lad on first. And he is a big one. Whoa, it's 3/4 pound on his own. Oh, there's the pound. I've always said that a pound's a good weight out of a 10-inch pot, and anything more is better than a good return, isn't it? A good return's a pound. You get more than a pound, but better than a good return. How's that looking? What can we see? Let's have a look. Oh, 1 3/4 pound. I think that's possibly one of the heaviest returns I've had this year. 1 3/4 pound. So it's 1 3/4 pound of Winston, and a pound of Charlotte. Grown in a 10-inch pot on a patio in nothing more than seaweed and leaves. No soil, no compost, no fertilizer. That seaweed and leaves was overwintered on my raised bed last year, chopped up and overwintered. 8 or 9 months ago that would have looked like leaves and looked like seaweed, but now it looks like compost and it looks like it's a winner. Would you agree? Okay, so this is Homegrown Veg, signing out.